The History Channel has followed two brothers, Marty and Rick Lagena, as they attempt to uncover the truth of Cursed Oak Island. Oak Island is just off the coast of Nova Scotia and is a mysterious place steeped in secrets and myths that have ties to the Knights Templar, kings, and pirates. There are also rumors that over 200 years ago, a pirate by the name of Captain Kidd left a hidden treasure there. The need to unravel the secrets of this cursed island began when the Laginas were just boys, and now they and the rest of their crew have been on an 11-season journey to find the elusive treasure. However, as they search high and low for these treasures, one has to wonder how much treasure they are already in possession of, and how they have been able to afford this elaborate hunt for so long. American brothers and treasure hunters, Rick and Marty Lagena, started their Fellowship of the Dig in 2006, when they started their search for the Oak Island treasure. It is speculated that they took out loans and invited investors into their venture when they first got the funds to search Oak Island for its lost treasure. They were raised together in northern Michigan and learned about the hidden treasure when they were just little boys. They read about it in a 1965 issue of Reader's Digest and have clung to the dream ever since. Both brothers are very close, even with the completely different paths life took them on during their adult lives, having pursued completely different careers. Marty Lagena. Marty Lagena is the younger brother of Rick and a much more practical man. He is more skeptical about finding anything on the island, but he is also willing enough to dream and try anyway. He studied to become an engineer and founded his own energy company, Terra Energy, which he sold for $60 million. Marty Lagena has a Bachelor of Science in Mechanical Engineering from Michigan Technological University and a Juris Doctor from the University of Michigan. He has a law degree and is a member of the state bar. He has an enduring love of science and met one of his best friends and now co-star of the show, Craig Tester, in college. Marty is also the founder and CEO of Heritage Sustainable Energy, and his best friend Craig is the vice president of the company. According to Salary.com, the typical yearly salary of a CEO of a company that size is around $600,000. To add an extra revenue stream, he is also the founder of Maury Vineyard, based in Michigan, where he also has a website from which anyone can order extremely affordable wine. Alongside his wine club, the events held there, and the wine tasting tours, he sells apparel, drinks, and accessories. His other investments are unknown, aside from the ones made public, like funding other treasure hunters. An unconfirmed report claims that the brothers get paid around $100,000 an episode, and perhaps even more in reruns, as they are executive producers on the show. This means that with 25 episodes in a season, they are making $2.5 million per season. With this alone, we can calculate that with 166 episodes of the show, they would have made over $16 million since they started filming the show in 2014. To add to this revenue stream, they are also available for speaking events, where their fee is a minimum of $5,000 for a speaking engagement. They also have multiple books out with excellent reviews, as well as merchandise like hats, shirts, and keychains on the History Channel website. To add to this, the island has a tour company, Salty Dog Sea Tours, which is booked all the way through the end of April of this year, a very successful tour around the waters of Oak Island. An additional revenue stream for the crew of Oak Island. This means Marty could possibly have a net worth close to $90 to $100 million. Craig Tester. The next prominent person on the show is longtime friend and business partner Craig Tester, who built Terra Energy with Marty Lagena. He is an expert when it comes to earth scans and drilling. Craig has been an incredible help when it comes to searching for clues around the island, able to recognize the significance behind every dig operation. It is likely he made money from the sale of the energy company, Terra Energy, that he helped build alongside Marty Lagena. In the show Beyond Oak Island, we find out that Marty, Craig, and Rick invest in other treasure hunters' explorations with the hope that they find something of great worth and are able to make a profit on the investment. The sale of found artifacts and treasure can be life-changing, as they are able to get huge sums of money in the hundreds of millions, depending on what they find. Not many treasures or returns on investments have been made public knowledge, but they do allude to investing large amounts of money. Craig is also the vice president and manager of a turbine company, Heritage Sustainable Energy. The salary of a founder and vice president of a company this size would be, on average, $250,000 a year. In addition to this, Craig is also the manager of the Rock Management Group, and he has a Bachelor of Science in Mechanical Engineering from Michigan Technological University. His net worth is likely closer to Marty Lagena's of around $80 to $90 million, as he was his partner in many business ventures like Terra Energy, Vineyards, and even Oak Island tours. He has also appeared in 100 episodes of The Curse of Oak Island, as well as one episode of Beyond Oak Island. The men have been known to invest their own money into scouring the island for treasures and clues, but it is unknown how much of their millions have gone into this. Alex Lagena. Another member of the crew is Alex Lagena, son of Marty Lagena and nephew of Rick Lagena. He has a degree in mechanical engineering from the University of Michigan. He is involved in his father's businesses, like the winery and energy company. There is also mention of his investments in real estate in Michigan. Alex Lagena is a very popular figure in the show because of his skill and intelligence when coming up with new strategies to find new treasures. He has been in 95 episodes of Curse of Oak Island, 10 episodes of The Curse of Civil War Gold, and 1 episode of Beyond Oak Island. If we calculated that each episode paid him $100,000, he would have earned nearly $11 million. It is likely that he has also earned money from investments like those of his father, and other sites speculate that his net worth is as high as $50 million. Jack Begley. Following the theme of being friends and family, the next cast member of the Oak Island crew is Jack Begley, the stepson of Craig Tester. He is based in Michigan, as most of the Oak Island crew seems to be, and he never hesitates to do the dirty work on the show. Jack and Craig are often working together on any digs on the island. When he isn't working with his stepdad, he can be found with friend and fellow crew member Gary Drayton, a metal detectorist around the island. Jack Begley is a producer on the show and has been in 100 episodes of The Curse of Oak Island. Calculating this would give Jack a net worth of $10 million, without including his revenue as a producer from the syndication of the show. Of course, as he is only a supporting character, he is unlikely to make the same amount as the Lagena brothers, so his net worth could be as much as half of that estimate. However, the show is not his only stream of revenue, as Jack owns his own company, Remote Energy Solutions, as well as being a drone pilot. A drone pilot is estimated to make over $100,000 a year. In addition to his co-ownership of a company that is estimated to make 7 figures a year, his total net worth is estimated to be around $3 to $10 million as of 2024. Gary Drayton. Gary Drayton is originally from England and taught himself the art of metal detecting. He has often helped the Fellowship of the Dig unearth many of Oak Island's incredible treasures. Gary offers invaluable insight to the show and is featured in Beyond Oak Island as well, given his connection to the greater world of treasure hunters. He has many of his own catchphrases on the show and is behind finding coins, semi-precious gems, and most significantly, a lead cross with ties to the Knights Templar. He has appeared in 150 episodes of the show, meaning he could be worth $15 million from show appearances alone. However, given his position as a side character, it is unlikely to be that high. However, he has written 2 books and found treasures himself, including rare coins, a ring made of emeralds and Inca gold, and even a Roman perfume bottle. Many sites estimate his net worth to be around $1 to $3 million. Charles Barkhouse, another crew member who has been in as many as 93 episodes and is a fan favorite, is the Oak Island historian, Charles Barkhouse. He has lived and investigated the island for over 50 years, and he gives guided tours around the island as well as the Oak Island Museum. According to Alex Lagena, he knows a lot about Oak Island and is one of the foremost historians of its legacy. Charles first started working as an advisor to the Lagena brothers and is a production assistant for the show. A production manager can make anywhere between $66,000 and $115,000 a year, according to Salary.com. To add to his revenue, he is a published author. Aside from being known as a historian, the most interesting fact about him is that he is a Freemason and actually a Knight Templar himself. Some fans speculate that he is there to keep an eye on the island and lead the team away from finding the treasure. Of course, these theories are not believed by serious fans, and he is very well respected for his expertise, which he shares with visitors on the island as well as in segments of the show. Some even say Charles is the true treasure on Oak Island, whose salary as an Oak Island guide is estimated to be around $33,000 a year. His deep roots on the island are appreciated and lend authenticity to their work on Oak Island. All of his show appearances, his book deal, production credits, and tour guide salary would put him in the range of around $2 to $3 million. This is taking into account that he would not be paid the same amount as the main characters in the show, and because he does not appear in as many episodes. Laird Niven. One of the most important members of the crew is Laird Niven. He is an archaeologist and historic preservation expert who has been in over 117 episodes of the show. His skills are welcome, as they rely on him to protect and explain some of the treasures and clues they find on the island. An archaeologist can make a salary of $46,000 to $100,000 a year. Adding in the historic preservationist expertise, which, as a career, can make over $50,000 a year, can be counted on to make his expertise all the more valuable. So in truth, his salary as an archaeologist can be more than double the average, to over $120,000. Laird Naivin describes himself as a self-employed archaeologist, and he studied sociology and social anthropology at Dalhousie University. But more than this important cornerstone of his identity, he is also a businessman. He is also the owner of In Situ Cultural Heritage Research Group, a company that provides archaeological, research, and historic preservation services that has been running for over 25 years. His company is internationally recognized, and his research group is said to be worth $22 million. His dedication to historical preservation efforts is well respected and acknowledged in the historical preservationist community. Like many of the crew on Oak Island, he gives a lot of interviews, seminars, and guest speaking engagements for different events and occasions. He is even slated to speak at the Chester Municipal Heritage Society's annual meeting in May of this year. Given the prestige, respect, and expertise of Laird Naivin, alongside his many episodes on Oak Island, his net worth is estimated to be around $4 to $5 million at the lowest. Some estimates would place him at $16 million. Rick Lagena. Rick is the older brother to Marty, and he used to be a United States postal worker. While living in Michigan, he learned to see the world in a very old-fashioned way. He lived by an old code of conduct where honor and determination meant everything. This is how he has been able to keep believing in his dream of finding the Oak Island treasure. A postal worker would make around $62,000, $122,000 a year. While this is a good living, it is unlikely to be able to fund a treasure hunt of the size needed to search Oak Island. His net worth has skyrocketed since joining the show, as he has been in over 160 episodes.
Researchers discover a key clue to the enigma of the money pit. It appears that the study team has at last discovered a clue to the treasure hidden in the money pit, after spending many long and exhausting hours looking. On Lot 13, which is situated just northeast of the marsh, Rick Lagina, Tom Nolan, another landowner on Oak Island, and the other team members are getting ready to start another excavation. They are searching for significant proof. Although clay was found, it was rather obvious that it wasn't supposed to be there in the first place. They speculated that it might be a blue clay of some sort. When exploring an unusual rock formation known as the Quadrilateral, Rick Lagena and the rest of the team recently discovered what may prove to be a crucial clue to the money pit mystery. At a depth of 40 feet, researchers started the first serious excavation of the ancient money pit in the year 1804. They found a layer of blue clay there at that depth, acting as a sealant to keep water out of the hole. Curiously, the researchers found the same substance in 2018 while looking at a ring-shaped stone monument called the Eye of the Swamp. Is it conceivable that the crew has now found proof that the Quadrilateral was made by the same people who altered the swamp and built the money pit? If that's the case, it's a really intriguing development. If that makes sense, it somewhat reminded them of what they had seen in the money pit. Blue clay plays a significant role in the tale of the money pit's discovery and history. If you were attempting to keep water out of some sort of underground structure, would you be able to make use of that? It's possible that Rick Lagena's theory, according to which the presence of blue clay points to the potential existence of a structure buried below, is true. If so, what kind of structure could it be? And could anything of outstanding value be inside? The following morning, Rick Lagena and other crew members returned to Lot 13, so that geoscientist Dr. Ian Spooner could look into the enigmatic quadrilateral feature that was providing a crucial clue to the money pit riddle. They felt that it was somewhat improbable that it could have spontaneously accumulated there. Additionally, they saw clay in a variety of colors combined with pieces of burned wood. These two items in no way, shape, or form go together. One of the group members remarked that the clay appeared to be split up and misplaced. There was an event that had a meaningful purpose and took place. There truly must be a reason for everything that happened since the story is so complicated. There was one little spot that had gotten a little worse. There were striations all over the metal, marking it. The thinness of the points gave the impression that they were made to be pushed into wood. Are you looking for a hand-forged iron staple or fastener? Since the 6th century BC, large metal staples have been employed often in the construction of both stone and wooden structures. Could this manually formed metal fastener be another proof that a structure of some kind is waiting to be revealed at the quadrilateral location? What kind of structure might it be in that situation, presuming the group has previously discovered blue clay, given that information? Anything that took place prior to the money pit's initial discovery has the potential to be considered original work. You will see that this so-called mainstay is actually rather puzzling when compared to the hard work that went into creating the Great Quadrilateral. What, if any, contributions does this facet make to the larger mystery? As of yet, nothing has been decided on that. Carmen Legg, a specialist in blacksmithing, meets with Rick and Marty Lagina, Craig Tester, and archaeometallurgist Emma Culligan at the Oak Island Interpretive Center to study the massive metal staple that was discovered the previous day. Its starting point is a fantastic quadrilateral. Even though it was a strange geometric figure, they had no notion what the specific feature represented. They have found no others of its kind on the island before. There are now countless conjectures regarding the type of wealth that might be hidden on the island, as well as how it got there. However, the William Phipps theory has won over a lot of supporters and is supported by a lot of data. The theory was refuted by writer and history enthusiast Hammerson Peters in a
meeting was to go over the scientific reports of the money pit. A lot of the Oak Island team seems worried about what the reports might say. The study was mostly useful, and the Ideon technology team worked hard to make sure it was correct. In the money pit area, the tech team put about 14 monitors into 5 boreholes. It's very, very deep, but most of the sensors were only 80 to 250 feet below the ground. This is very, very close to the tube. It wasn't just recently that the investigation was done. It happened as early as 2021, and it took almost 2 years to do all the necessary studies. This means that the report's conclusions are not based on quick observations, but on thorough study and testing. Based on the story, it looks like the sensors could pick up muons even when they were buried several feet deep. The representative said there were specific things to look for, like suits, voids, tubes that cross at the money pit, and strange things happening underground. The reports were shown clearly, showing how full the money pit was. The 3D picture shows that the areas with moderate density are yellow, the areas with low density are blue dots, and the areas with high density are orange and red. Based on how you look at it, places with a high density are more likely to have treasures, while areas with a low density are more likely to have tunnels, voids, or vaults. Based on the picture, the result is good overall. What should be the baby blob was found about 65 feet below the money pit, west of the garden shaft. There was a lot of stuff there. More than 112 feet below the surface, however, there is a low-density area. The team has a conflict of interest because the results mean they might not be able to get to the high-density area because Dumas Limited is still running. Luckily, this isn't the only place where there are a lot of people. An oddity was found about 85 feet southwest of the garden shaft and 230 feet below the money pit. It had a much higher density than other places. This information makes everyone think of their potential. It looks like Oak Island might have more than one prize. This fact has never occurred to searchers in the past or present until now. The team is willing to learn more about what has been found and agrees to use careful digging to try to find out more about the island. As the minute went on, another report was made about an odd, low-density area that Oak Island's team seemed to have looked into. It's different from other low-density, concentrated areas because it seems to cover a mythical, important spot. There have been many attempts to find Aladdin's cave, but it has been hidden by the void for a long time. The L15 hole was drilled, and a big hole was cut at the SDW of the garden shaft just a year ago. The cave was about 40 feet long and 12 feet wide, and there were drawings and other signs of human activity inside. When people were asked about the water in Aladdin's cave, they said it was heavily contaminated with heavy metals, and it looks like the water has some gold in it. It's possible that the cave has been found before, but if not, it has now because all the signs point to it being the right place for the mythological place to be. The report from Ideon Technologies has changed the game and taken a big step forward in finding the prize. Right now, they have exact places, clear goals, and a plan for how to drill. This is a great result that shows that the years of study were very useful. Luckily, L15 can be drilled right away because it is not near the garden shaft. Drilling can start as soon as it is planned to. The meeting went very well because it proved what most of the team already knew. There was more than one treasure at and near the money pit. I think we can all agree that technological progress was a big part of solving many of Oak Island's secrets. The Dumas Contracting Company keeps drilling deep in the garden shaft in the morning of a new day. This time, they are going to dig up L14, Aladdin's cave. On the other hand, Archaeologists at Lot 5 keep digging deeper into the stone wall of the rectangle depression that was built to hide the treasures. Some finds have been made, as expected. Some of them go back to before Oak Island, and its treasures were found. The crew found a new object early on, a piece of metal that they thought might be a bolt or a chain link. There could be a few clues as to why the claimed chain link's pieces were found. Some people think that the object broke while being moved or bonded with other items, possibly treasure, and was then buried before the stone wall was built. There's also a chance that something strange and possibly more complicated happened in the area. Where did the idea come from? What was the point of it? Who were the makers anyway? It is likely that the proposed CT scan of the artifact would solve these questions. But one thing is for sure, Lot 5 wasn't just a neighborhood. There is proof that it was also used for military purposes, either because of a conflict or as a training ground. The archaeologists keep carefully digging and sorting to find more unique artifacts that might finally give them information about what people did in the area. Back in the money pit area, another member of the team starts to work on the trash that was taken away. The expert with the metal detector and the historian on the team worked together to dig through the trash and find metal objects. Gary found several strong metal signs in the thick, murky water more than a year ago, but he wasn't able to get as much information because the search had been stopped. There was, however, a lot of proof that the place had a lot of precious metals. There are fewer limits on the operation this time, which means it will have more effects. Not long after the scanning, the detector made a number of beeps, which, as expected, meant that valuable metals were present. In no time, a big metal piece thought to be a wedge was found in the mud and other junk. The metal spike is likely part of an axe, as this is what most people think it is. But why would a piece of metal from an axe be more than 80 feet below the ground? Was it used to build tunnels, or did it break while the valuable metals were being buried? If this theory is even slightly true, it looks like the metal wedge dates back to at least 1735. It may contain information about the people who lived in that area and their way of life, society, and technology.